Welcome to Ghost Education 101, where curiosity meets experience and the doors to the entire paranormal landscape are finally open. Hosted by Dr. Heather Leigh and Dr. Tiffany Frazier, this series is built for everyone who wants to understand the unexplained the right way. Whether you're just stepping into the unknown or you've been investigating for years, this is the place where you can sharpen your approach, deepen your understanding, and cut through the misconceptions that have overrun this field for far too long. Each episode walks you through the full spectrum of paranormal activity, classic hauntings, intelligent spirits, cryptids, elemental beings, poltergeist phenomena, and the modern challenges investigators face today. We break it all down. The science, the method, and the mystery, without dumbing it down and without drifting into theatrics. Grounded in research, history, and real-world investigation, Ghost Education 101 is your classroom, your laboratory, and your gateway into the most compelling unexplained experiences on record. Learn, question, discover. Welcome to Ghost Education 101. Now, here are your hosts, Dr. Heather Leigh and Dr. Tiffany Frazier.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good evening. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Tired, but good. I'm here.
Yeah.
I always get my second win when we start the show, so I am looking forward to this tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Tonight, those of you who have watched Ghost Education 101 in the past know we've had Kenneth on a couple times. We had him on a couple weeks ago with our psychic panel, and I'm looking forward to having him back. I view him as a really good friend, someone who always reaches out when he knows I need something, because he always just has a feeling that he needs to say hi. So he always does it at the right time. So I'm not even going to make him wait. I'm going to bring him on. Hey, Kenneth, how are you doing today?
Pretty well, and yourselves?
Good. Yeah, you always seem to know when I need to talk to somebody, because I always get a message that says howdy in Facebook when I'm having a rough day. So, I mean, I know we have a lot to talk about because you have a lot on your plate. I thought I had a lot going on my plate, but you tend to have a lot going on. So one thing I do want to dive into is one thing I like to ask a lot of our guests to start off with is kind of how you got into the paranormal field and kind of like why you do what you do.
Well, I got into the paranormal field because growing up, I'm in a very old town in the Old South, so to speak. And literally, if you go uptown, it's one of the few towns that was not burned in South Carolina during Sherman's March. We were actually saved because the rivers flooded. But you know, growing up, we have so many spirits here and so much history. And when I was a kid, went out to my family's old plantation and sitting in my dad's old Jimmy, I looked to my left and there's a gentleman in period clothing, and I looked in front of me and there is a bloody slave looking back at me. So that kind of started me on learning about my abilities, and then getting to know my mother's side of the family, which is where they kind of descend from. You know, they all have the ability, and most of them too scared of it. Mm-hmm. The only other person I know of my family that really has accepted it was my great grandmother. And that woman was off the chain. You could walk in the front door, she'd be in her kitchen, she'd tell you, "Oh, you're pregnant, come here, let's eat."
Oh. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you work with a lot of historic locations. Can you tell us, when you walk into a location, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, I like to go in literally acting like a dumb blonde and have nothing in my head.
Okay. No comment.
I like, yeah.
I mean, my thing is this. You know, when I first started getting into the paranormal, dealing with teens, being a psychic, a lot of people judge you and think you're fake. And I have come across a lot of psychics over time that, you know, they do a little bit of research before they go anywhere. And that's kind of helped me develop, you know, don't do it. go in with a blank slate. That way you have a little bit easier validation on what you're reading or what you're picking up on. So it's always best to kind of go in like a dumb blind.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But, unfortunately, I can't do that. So I've never developed my skills. People say I have them, but I just never developed them just because I want to know the history of the place before I go there. And that's just me being nosy.
And
So,
Kenneth, what's your take on, because I'm a firm believer that everybody has the ability to some extent.
We do. Everyone does. You're born with the very basic. And the ability, a lot of people think, oh, you can pick up spirits, you can do this, you can do that. At least in my belief, we're all born with it, but it's not meant necessarily to read spirits or the energies around us. It's to keep us connected to nature and the energies she puts off so we can detect when things are about to happen. But over time, with historical influences, with wars and all the other things that we know about in history, is just like everything else, it develops and it changes over the millennia. So now we can pick up with spirits. Like when COVID happened, there was a group of us that were like contacting each other a few months ahead, said something's coming up, portals are opening, spirits are making way, they're leaving the areas, different from all around the world. And then when COVID happened, we're like, okay, this is what was going down.
That's so interesting you bring that up because I have a bit of a theory. So prior to COVID, I used to be a YouTube mommy vlogger. And there was this kind of explosion of, well, it was on just, popular TV too, but like of preppers and all of that. And everybody talking about, something's going to happen at some point. So, prep and be prepared. So, I was aware of all the talk in the community. Do you think that kind of mentality, when it is on such a large scale within the population, do you think that can kind of help move things along in certain directions?
As in what, abilities or?
I guess in like kind of a collective thinking type of way.
It does form mass hysteria, but on the psychic level, no.
Okay.
And going back to when you enter a place, so when you go in with your blonde wig on and your empty mind, I guess I know when I go into locations, I can, the minute I step over that threshold, I either know something's there or no, I don't want to be in that house. I mean, house hunting with me is a pain in the ass because I walk into a home and I'm like, nope, and I leave. It's like I don't even look at the rest of the house. I just know. What kind of signs do you get? Do you get them far before you get there? Do you get visions like the night before you plan on investigating somewhere?
It depends on the location. I have had cases where I had visions a month or so before I even went on location. And then there's a local cemetery that a lot of people couldn't enter and the groundskeepers couldn't enter to take care of because they were being attacked by stuff outside the fences. So a group of my friends said, hey, we're going to take you to an undisclosed location, just test your abilities. And on the way there, I had to pull over and call them because they were coming for me and I was like 6 miles away from the cemetery. So it just depends on location.
Okay. Yeah, I can see you being the type, if we say we're going to pick you up, but you're meeting us somewhere, you'll just show up at the location. I found it.
I don't do that no more. I'm getting too old to drive.
Well, yeah. And I think one time you told me that the spirits like to tag along with you in the car.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, thinking you're alone in the car and looking in your rearview mirror and seeing someone sitting back there.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit. Even like the house I live in, the people that lived here before me, they reported like 2 weeks after I moved in that there was a male figure that they kept seeing in the front bedroom. And I'm like, okay, well, that's nice to know because about 4 days after I moved in, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes and the old lady walks up behind me and starts talking to me. And when I tried to see who she was and how she's tied to this house, because it wasn't built till the early 60s. And she just gave me this look, put her shoulders up, turn around, walk down the hallway. Next thing I know, about 20 minutes later, I hear her and an old man fussing in my bedroom. And now I got all this antique furniture from out of the Smith Collins funeral home in that front bedroom. So yeah, every night's a rave.
His life is Ghosts, that TV show.
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like. It's definitely sounding like it. That's awesome. I love that show.
I've had an ex of mine. I had to do something. I laid my cell phone down anywhere in the house and go outside of my vehicle or whatever and come back in. And he's having a full conversation thinking it's me. And I'm like, dude, I was outside and nowhere near my phone. So who are you talking to? He's like, I don't know, but it sounded like you. And about that, you could hear, because I always speak on speakerphone, someone laughing in the background. I'm like, oh, they were effing with you. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
You definitely need someone who understands.
That's awesome. Do you think so? I don't know. This is kind of a tough question, and I've asked it, I think, one other time with somebody, and they weren't really sure. But do you think at any time in the future, psychic impressions would be and perhaps should be used as data?
No.
No. Okay. Why?
Because the whole basis of the ability is energy manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no set. So the only way it could become data is if you have it set at one level all the time. And in order for us to do what we do, we have to fluctuate consistently.
I see.
The easiest way to think about it is you learn about the aura of the body, all the different layers of it. So that's essentially part of the ability. We're manipulating and going through those different layers because each one responds to a different energy level. And then we pull the information we're provided, or either audibly or in our minds, and then that's how we can tell you what we're seeing, what we're feeling, whatever the information is we need to provide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then one question I get asked a lot, and I try to ask anyone who I know can give a legitimate answer, because not always the right answer comes out. But if someone is looking to determine if a psychic is authentic, whether it's to help with an investigation or ask questions on something, what advice would you give them to determine if the feedback they're giving is true and not either made up or pre-researched?
Well, as the home or property owner, do your own research. Go as far back as you can. That's one way to determine if they're going to actually ping. But even then, some stuff that we may pick up, you can't find records on. It's stuff that was kept in family Bibles, or it was secrets that the paper was burned or whatever. And then most psychics I've dealt with that actually have true abilities, the minute they get out that car, they're already reading. They're already taking notes. They walk a property. They don't just go straight into the house. They walk the property, because your house can be 100 years old, but the property's been lived on for 400 years. So that walk around would tell them the time frames, what the people look like, potentially names, instances that went on the property before they even go in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's a good basis to start. If they're hitting stuff that way, then you've probably got someone that's got a little bit good. But at the same time, if they don't do that and they come into your home and they're spitting facts like what you researched, to me they're fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, what's the most unexpected piece of information you've ever come across? Or have you?
The most unexpected?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Lord, that's a wide file.
Or something, I mean, like
Miscarriage.
something that just doesn't necessarily have to be scary or anything, but like just something that completely surprised you and you just were not expecting it.
Miscarriages.
Uh,
Those I don't get told. I feel them.
mm.
Oh,
So I'm probably one of the few men on earth that know what a miscarriage feels like.
Oh, yeah.
I hate those. If I feel those, I'll exit a room in a heartbeat.
mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to watch you though go through one. Uh-uh. So the fact that you pick up on that, I want to say it was you, and I hope it was you, because if not, I'm just going to completely make a total ass of myself. But wasn't there a time that you were working as a death doula?
Yes.
Okay. Can you kind of explain that to those who might not know what that is?
Okay, so death doula has two jobs. Nowadays, more nurses do the death doula part, but they only do one side of it. They don't do both. The first part is actually when someone is doing what's called a living death. So they know they're dying, their body's slowly in the process. So we meet with them, we help take care of them. We work on a food intake, so what can actually help them. We also put them through practices where they, through a form of hypnosis, so to speak, they get to feel what death is like going through the organs as they shut down, so they become familiar with it. And they, through this process and other tests that we have to do with them, they learn to accept death and can tell when it's coming. But usually when you do a death doula, you also, just like a lawyer, you give them full ride over everything. We're above the family members. So if you're the one dying and you know your daughter peed you off and you don't want her around, then we can legally have them removed. We do have that legal aspect. But then the other half, which is slowly being cut out unless you find someone that does both, they have to be psychic, because we're there in the presence when you pass away, but spiritually and with abilities, we're waiting for you on the other side, and we're there to help you cross over. Okay. And then once you get over, you know, if you go into judgment, if you're Christian, we don't mess with you at that point. Okay. But if you refuse and you want to stay in God's waiting room, then we can counsel you more with our abilities to get you to accept the death and accept that you have crossed over and not to fear what may be over there. It gets you to walk into the light. But if you're not Christian, then have fun. That's a totally different landscape.
Okay. And is that anything that you're continuing to do, or is that something that had to take the axe because of all your other projects?
I don't do the physical part no more. I do the spiritual, but only if asked.
Okay.
It's really cool that you helped explain that, because I've heard of death doulas, but I wasn't familiar exactly with what exactly went into it. So
it's a lot.
It definitely sounds like it, because I guess like a lot of people, I kind of had the impression that it was kind of like, you know, when you have a hospice nurse at the house, that was kind of my take on it. But obviously that it's so much
hospice.
more.
I hate hospice. They give you the shot.
And you have to be psychologically strong, because I mean, for me personally, I don't think that's something that I could handle.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. I could not.
After a while, you get used to it psychologically. With some people, and I don't want to sound mean, it's the smell of death when it comes around. That tends to get to me more. That's why I stick with the spiritual side and less of the physical. I can't stomach it. And then when I'm trying to deal with them and focus on them, and then you got their loved ones coming around.
Yeah.
That makes it even harder, because you're trying to listen to them and deal with them, and then you got this other chatter coming around.
Yeah. Meanwhile, grandma's telling the grandkids to shut up. I'm trying to talk here. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Tiffany, or you want me to continue down my list?
I think you should continue with your list.
So going back to spirits seem to be everywhere with you and you don't like driving because they show up in your car. Just one experience I had several months ago was in an antique store, and this little old man just followed me around the whole store. And he wasn't alive. He was just this little old man. And he just kind of followed, didn't say anything, it was like, I told my mom, I'm like, I need to leave because this guy is not leaving me alone. And she's just like, okay. Do you stay away from antique stores as well?
Nope.
No.
I love them.
Okay.
I love them. The bigger, the better.
Okay. Yeah, I love them too, but there's just some that I can't go to because they give me creepy vibes or I'm just not left alone.
You need to put your foot down before you even go in. Say whatever spirits are there, do not mess with you. You're there to shop.
Yep.
And if they want to relay a message, they know alternate ways of doing so. Just put your foot down, they'll leave you alone.
Okay. Yeah, because that was going to lead me to my other question is when you have so many spirits trying to talk to you at once, how do you handle that?
Tell them to shut up.
So, yeah, you are very forward.
But do they listen? And if they don't, what do you do?
If they don't want to listen, I treat them like a bad little child. I will take them to their room and I will lock them in it.
And how do you do that with a spirit?
Oh, I got my methods.
Okay.
Most people, I'm afraid to see what he has locked in his basement.
Lucky for you, I ain't got a basement. So everything's stuck in the rooms.
Oh. This is going downhill quick.
You should come visit, Heather. I got a mirror you might like. It's from the 1700s. So
I need to. I need to get back into it. Lately, with work and everything going on, the only time I do anything spooky is this show and the books I'm writing.
Oh Lord, writing books.
I know.
That's
I miss it. We were driving through. What was the name? Bartlett, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We were driving back from Austin and there was an accident on the highway. So we took the back roads home and it was, old 95 and it went through 7 ghost towns on the way home. And I'm like, oh, I'm writing about this one. So I have to go back. But then this one was an abandoned downtown and it still had the cobblestone road and all the original buildings from the, the 1700s, 1800s. And it was just, it was an old West town that is completely abandoned, but all the buildings are still there. And of course, me, I had to pull over, and that was the closest I've gotten to paranormal in I don't know how long.
Oh, I have my kids would be so impatient. They are impatient, so I can't do that. I have to hope I'm alone if I see something cool and want to pull over to take a look.
We definitely need to get to South Carolina. We have on the Ghost Ed list. I do have South Carolina on there, Key West, and then David Oman still wants us to come out to his home.
Yeah, I know.
Well, come to Marion. I'll take you to some old places.
Yeah.
And we need to go. I mean, I know this isn't haunted, it could be haunted. I don't know. It's been years since I've been there. But if Aw Shucks is still open, we need to go there and eat their food because I really like their food, unless it's gone downhill.
If it's in South Carolina, it probably went downhill.
Okay. It was in Charleston.
And it was called what?
Aw Shucks. It was a seafood restaurant.
I don't know if they're still there.
Okay, they might not be. This was back in '94.
Then they probably aren't there. They got a lot of new restaurants.
That's the last time I was in Charleston. Yeah.
Do you have a? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to let Ansel
sorry.
know that I'll send him the name of that town. I have your email and I'll send that out.
Do you have a favorite type of location that you like to investigate?
No. Bring them all on.
Bring it all.
Yep.
But do you prefer historical locations or newer locations?
I prefer a newer location with a historical twist.
Because something was there prior. Something was always there before.
Yeah. And I know I don't believe in this, but a lot of people do believe that spirits are tied to a property, kind of like we were just talking earlier about the TV show Ghosts, where all these ghosts are tied and stuck and they can't pass the boundary. Is that something that maybe you are just oblivious to, or do they have free will to roam wherever they want to?
A majority have free will, but the thing that kind of ties some spirits to a property is that there was something traumatic that happened, and then they just can't get out of that loop, so they constantly relive it, and they're stuck to that property.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you ever do any kind of spirit counseling to help them understand that they don't have to be stuck in that loop, that it is just their...
Well,
Um,
if I'm working a case,
mhm.
usually I can start it, but I cannot finish it because it's like counseling a living person.
Yeah.
They've got to go through every single mindscape. They got to go through every emotion, every trauma. And with some spirits, especially if you got one of those, 200 or 300 years old, if not older, that's a lot that they had to go through in their life. And you can't stay forever and investigate, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's not like what we see on TV where people go in and they talk to a spirit and the spirit's like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then they are able to cross over. It typically doesn't happen that quickly.
No.
Okay. Those would be the frauds.
Yeah. Either that or TV edited it too well.
Right.
Yeah. Like 3 weeks worth of stuff down to 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a spirit come to you? I'm trying to think. For help in the aspect of to help with what their life was like when they were living, whether it was a murder, a mystery, or send a message. I mean, of course, I'm sure they come to you to send messages to loved ones. But does that seem to happen often, or are they just kind of there talking and just want to talk?
Just want to talk.
Just want to talk?
Yep. Usually trying to tell me what to do and how to live my life, but yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, some of them do.
They're older than you and they have more experience and they know better.
Yeah, but it's bad when the spirit was younger than you. They've just been dead a lot longer.
They're just, like I said, they're just watching out for you. And, that's any new person you bring into your life. They're probably like, you know what? We don't like that person. We're going to make them go.
Well,
I think it's happened.
it was, but now they've just, the ones that are constantly around me,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of said, you know what, do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've done something different. Instead of just effing with people, they literally make it where we cannot communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with my ex, when he was being a butt, if he was trying to call me, I wouldn't get the calls. If he tried to text me, I wouldn't get no text.
Mm-hmm.
Or, another past relationship, whenever he'd come over, he'd start being a butthole, and then he would sit down and just go into a daze like he was on drugs, and he wasn't. They were effing with him. That's their way of telling me, get the heck out.
So this is going to take a dark turn, and I'm sorry, but I just got to know, are there any spirits that you have a romantic connection with?
No.
Okay.
If they want that, they can wait till I'm dead, and then we can talk about it.
Okay. Are there any that are waiting for you to die?
All of them.
Oh. He needs to die so he can be my best friend.
No, they won't like me when I die. I know what's happening to me already.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle that, knowing that information.
It's not that bad. I can make some Bible thumpers mad. That's what I know.
Yeah. We have a lot out here because there's a group that they're about 3 hours. I forgot what town they're in, but they're about 3 hours away, and they host monthly markets, and they're called the Polk County Pagan Market. Mm-hmm. And every time, and they legally rent from the city the park, and they have their, thumpers out on the just outside the gates, trying to discourage people from going in.
Mm-hmm.
And they've even written songs. If you look them up on Spotify, they've written songs about it.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're all over the place here.
Yeah, they can't do that here.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm going through my questions real quick, and I think I've gotten most of them. Come on, Tiffany.
Okay.
It's your turn.
What what about being a psychic? Do a lot of people, I guess, kind of romanticize that is incorrect, that we actually don't understand?
That every single one of us, when we meet someone, that we can pull your loved ones to you and give a message. No, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
It really don't.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to give a message, they'll tell us. But if someone truly has abilities and they truly accept them and they want to learn, it's a thing of respect that we don't approach you. It's best for spirit to give you a reason to come to us.
Right. Yeah. And do you believe that spirits, because I think for a lot of people, and I believe this personally, I believe that spirits can, once they cross over, they can come back and they can visit. But I know for a lot of people, it's like, once you're gone, or once you're gone, you should be gone. But it doesn't really, if you're a believer in free will, that doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. What's your take on that?
This is one of the few times that science backs the abilities. You know, it takes electrical impulses for the body to work on a daily basis. When we die, that electrical energy is kind of put into the atmosphere. Energy cannot dissipate fully. It has to be changed somehow. So if you think of the soul as being an energy form, so when you pass away, it's just going to change over. So you can come back, you can cross over, you can do whatever you want. It's, you know, like you said, free will. But energy is always there. We are never gotten rid of.
Right.
Yeah, and I found the one question that I was looking for is, do you use, when you do your historical work, whether it's restoring a property, planning a guided tour or a haunted tour or anything like that, do you get your information on how to do all that through research, or do you rely on the spirits to tell you, no, the couch was over there. No, this was, this happened at this corner. This happened in this building.
Well, if I'm doing a tour of a building, I let spirit tell me whatever they want me to know. But if it's of a town, then I will, before I do any research myself, I walk around the town, I mark where I am on a map, take notes on what I'm shown or what I'm told. And then once, I can walk around the town and I stop getting information, then I start doing the research, start digging to confirm everything that I've been shown or told. Okay. And then as long as I can confirm it and have the physical evidence, then it goes on the tours and I tell people about.
Okay. And have the spirits ever lied to you intentionally?
Yes.
It's another one of those situations where I always tell people, it's like, just because or somebody becomes a spirit doesn't mean they change. They're still the same personality they were in life. So sense of humor does exist on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Especially, and assholery.
Yeah, I've been even uptown in the town I live in, and I'll be doing tours, and we have a house called the Gumboldt House. It's built in 1802. It's an old plantation. This town was built literally on a plantation. And when there's too many people going around his house and he don't like it, he will, especially if there are melanated people on the tour, he does use a certain derogatory term. And if I don't get away from the house, he does come for me and he gets in my ear and screams it until the point I'd have to tell people, I'm sorry, but this is what's about to come out of my mouth and I don't mean it any harm. But to get the spirit away from me, I have to say the word, and I'll say the word. But thankfully, at least with my tours, when you go to pay for one, you have to sign a little piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, it states you accept whatever may come out of my mouth if spirit approaches me.
I will not be offended.
Yeah.
So going a little bit on the scientific side of things, you had mentioned a little bit that science really can't 100% prove what's going on with psychics. But what do you think, scientifically speaking, if anything, is happening and allowing psychics to have their abilities?
The only thing scientifically, at least in my mind, you can do CAT scans while we're reading, while we're picking up stuff. You will see there's a change in the brain when we read certain parts of it. You can do energy tests. Look at the fluctuations of a normal person compared to us when we're reading. Everything changes. But the minute we lose connection, it goes straight back into being normal.
Okay. Yeah, I need to. I had Jeff Mudgett on one of my shows a while ago, and he had a theory that he wants to test with the psychic, and I probably need to reach out to him again, and maybe we could use you. But he wants to go to that post office where the H.H. Holmes hotel was built, and he has a scientist who has a cap. So it's almost like an not EKG, but you know what I'm talking about, a cap that will read the brain waves while you're walking around the building.
Oh, I could do better. I know there's a forest here where there's a lot of people that were murdered buried by a serial killer.
Yeah, so maybe I'll at least find out, or we can do, that's an experiment that we can do, kind of see what's going on.
We'll see.
See, yeah. I just need to get out to your area.
There's a lot here.
I know. I
we
miss
go back
that
to 1600s,
area.
so shoot, you ain't been to the heart of the old South. That's the town I'm in.
I was born in Virginia, but we lived on a naval base, so that kind of wasn't really considered the South.
I'll tell you, this is how bad it is here. Our local historical association held a chili cook-off about a month ago, and I set up a tent trying to get some tours. And I had people come and praying over me because I offer ghost tours.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Heather, I think I shared with you somebody, when I first started with DPI, I took my family to the location where we had just investigated, because it's a museum and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful property. So I took the family down there, and I ran into the lady who runs it, and she's like, "Oh, you came back and you brought the family." She was all excited. And she she had a group of friends who just stopped in to say hi. And she told me, she said to them, she goes, "This is Tiffany, and she's with the paranormal investigation team that was already here." And one of the ladies, literally, her eyes went to the floor and she did a beeline right past me, straight out the door. My daughter looked at me. She goes, "What?" And I go, "It's okay. I'll tell you later."
Yeah.
But it's true. Like it's crazy.
Yep. In Vegas, it wasn't like that at all. Everybody, it's
completely different.
Yep. Yeah. But so what you're saying, when I come to South Carolina, I shouldn't wear my sweatshirt that has a Ouija board across the chest?
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll spark up some pretty interesting conversations.
I can say this though: if you do it in the town I'm in, I got some hot spots for you, but you will not find any spirits here. At least if I'm with you, that's going to mess with you, because one of my assistants, she's been out with recorders because she does paranormal investigations, and I've offered people on tours, and if you say my name and how I am with the spirits, they all tell you I'm a friend of theirs.
Of course. Yes, we like Kenneth.
Yeah, but if I walk away, they'll F with you.
Yep. Actually, that kind of brings up a question, since we're talking about the living who don't like the idea of the paranormal. Have you run into any spirits who don't like the fact that they're a spirit?
Yes. Those are my favorite. Especially when they start talking about, you're going to have damnation, you're going to rot in hell. Yeah, come on, keep on laughing. I want to hear it.
That's when you just light some sage and be like, yeah, whatever.
That don't work. It only lasts for a few hours.
It doesn't last. I think they like it.
Burn some sulfur. That'll get them going way quicker.
Yep. Okay.
So do you ever just have conversations with spirits, like the ones that you were talking about in your house? Do you just like ever shoot the shit with them, and or is it kind of like, yeah, you're here, hi, how are you? And
The only time they really want to speak is if something's going on. Like if there's something in my antique room, I've got that 1700s mirror on a wall, and then across from it is 1800s buffet, and it has a mirror on it, so there's a loop there. Now, when something's trying to come through that doesn't need to come through, they'll let me know in a heartbeat. They'll come wake me up or drag me out of bed, literally. Mm-hmm. And then I have to go in there and do blessings and take the mirror down. But other than that, they usually don't mess me as far as talking. They just like to roam around the house and beat crap and move stuff. Or show themselves at the corner of the eye when I try to talk to them. They just walk off.
No, it's called a husband.
It's called a pain in my butt. Don't sit and stare. It makes me feel a weird way.
So have you ever had a moment that made you actually question your abilities?
Every day.
Every day.
The biggest thing that makes me question my abilities is when spirits want to be dishonest. Mm-hmm. And they tell you scenarios that have happened, or they show you stuff that they've made up in their own minds, and so that's what they relate to you. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, okay, after a while, years of doing this, you kind of learn when they're doing that. And it starts making am I going crazy? Because this one keeps showing me the same thing over and over, telling me these names over and over and giving me dates, and nothing's aligning. Mm-hmm. And it really makes you think you're going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do you ever go back and do research after you've done an investigation to see if anything that you picked up psychically corresponds with research? With
me, no. Okay. I leave that to whatever team I'm working with. They do the research. Mm-hmm. My whole thing, or the way I think, is if you're asking me to go on location, I'm not doing research beforehand. I'm not going to do research afterwards. Mm-hmm. That's the job of the people without the abilities. I'm there to let them know what's around that they can't see. I'm there to give them facts and to break through the lies the best I can to get the truth. So that way, whoever's living in the house can come to some type of peace arrangement with them, or help to get them off the property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And real quick, it looks like, we have Anton visiting us. I forgot to say this earlier, but he is a regular watcher of ours. Hello, and thank you for joining us. And it looks like someone who else I haven't seen in a while, Father Torres, is joining us. So welcome to watching the show. Hope everything is good with you. And then the question I have, if I had it on my screen, but there it is. So based on your experiences, and this, I don't know if a lot of people like this or not. Do you think that there are some psychics in the field that are not so much intentionally faking it, but are unintentionally faking it? If that makes sense.
It does. The psychics in the field that's doing that, to me at least, are self-promoters. Mm-hmm. They're not doing it to help people. They're not doing it to expand their abilities and to help spirit. They're doing it just for the show. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, even though they may have the ability and they may get some stuff right, to me, that's a charlatan. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this kind of ties off on that one. Sorry, I typed my questions on another sheet. Have you ever felt pressured to perform? And I'll put perform in loose quotes. All the time from my friends. Call me up and say, what's going on with this person? I don't want to read people. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I do it. But yeah, it happens all the time.
New drinking game. Kenneth is talking to a spirit again.
Yeah.
I can see you at a party. You wouldn't be interacting with any living there. You'd be the one off in another room chatting it up with, the former house owner or something like that.
Oh no, when I go to parties, I like to sit there and be the quiet one that people think's crazy because I'm reading them all for filth and learning their little secrets. So if they want to be mean, I can announce it.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
If you could sit down with somebody from the past who's passed away, who would it be?
Ooh. Only if I could understand them. I would actually like to talk to Ramses the Great.
Oh. Why?
I would love to know, for starters, how he could support an entire country and then all them kids he had, and how after he passed, Egypt went whoop.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to know if there's actually a hidden library near the Great Pyramid.
Find where it's at.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
Now, if you were able to find it, would you keep it to yourself, or would you let others know?
The thing is this: the way Egypt's archaeological society, their department for that, handles stuff. If I were to find it, they would make me sign an NDA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I couldn't ever announce it until they did their archaeology and proved if that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you may not hear for a decade or so.
Yeah. So stick around because you want to know that answer if you do find it.
Oh yeah, I would love to go to Egypt, just walk in the Great Pyramid and be like, who am I going to talk to?
Yeah. My dad did that back when he was in the Navy, but not for the same reason. Okay, so I think I know the answer to this one, but I just want to kind of make sure, just in case there is something more to what psychics are experiencing, or even spirits, what we experience when we communicate to spirits. Do you think that when we interact with something paranormal, whether it's psychic or just a regular investigation, do you think it is spirits of those who have passed, or could it be something else or greater that we don't understand yet?
It could be something else. Okay. My thing with the spirit world, and it's one of the things, like if I'm starting to connect, I really don't like people talking. I don't want you around me. Mm-hmm. Is because there are things that's on that side that has never been born. It's never walked this earth. And because of that, it has spent centuries or a millennia building energy. And, if there's a certain spirit you're used to talking to or trying to get in contact with because you dealt with them in life, they learn how to make themselves look and sound just like that person. Mm-hmm. They become a mimic. And they're very good at it.
Mm-hmm. And because of that, does the work that you do ever scare you?
It does every once in a blue moon. Okay. Because once you figure out that it's not that entity you're trying to connect with, some of them tend to F with you for a little while. They'll follow you home, go to work with you, and really mess with you when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. Anton has a quick question for you. In your experience, do you have any thoughts on what spiritual energy components are? You already talked about the law of conservation of energy. Let me know when you're done reading so I can reveal your face again.
You can reveal.
Okay.
That's a very deep question. That's the first time I've ever been asked that in over 20 years.
Well, we want a deep answer from it now.
Oh, that's one of them things I have to sit on and think about.
We got time.
No, you don't. That'll be something I'll get back to you with. I'll give them the answer and let them get back to you.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can do just either a one-off video, or we could just type up the answer and we'll post it on our page.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I had a question and it just like it floated away.
Went away.
It did. It did.
One moment.
Yeah. Wrong moment. So I think for a lot of people, and especially people who are non-believers, and I'm not psychic, but like Heather was saying earlier, when we walk into a location as an investigator, you feel it. You can just feel if something's going on. Now, whether there's spirits there or perhaps it's kind of like a mystery type spot where there's just like crazy vortex of energy going on, you can feel energy. How do you, what does it feel like, and does it feel different with different types of energy for you? Because I know for me, it's not like a prickly feel. Not always. It's not always like a prickly feeling, but it's more of like, you know, you're not alone. Like you feel like something is just like right behind you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's just a spirit behind it. Just that's just how I kind of interpret, like, okay, something's going on around here. Do you have those experiences, and does it change with different types of spirits or different types of hauntings?
It changes with different types of hauntings and the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not in tune with your abilities, what you're feeling is a form of empathy, which is good because that can allow you to actually attract whatever spirit or spirits you need to approach you. They'll come a little bit closer because they can feel that you're on a similar level to them. But with me, if I'm at my full spectrum, I get similar feelings. I get the empathetic feelings. I feel how, if they were sick or how they died, at the same time while I'm hearing them and seeing certain parts of their lives replaying in my head. It's like little mini movies. So it just depends on location and on the spirits.
And one question that I have is how has your abilities over the past years, or ever since you started experiencing them, how has that changed how you view reality?
In all honesty, I think reality is hell. But there's lessons that have to be learned in the living that we have to take over into the spirit realm with us. But at the same time, when we pass away, you know, if we're happy when we're in the end of days, or we get mad, that energy that we have at that moment, that's where we get stuck when we cross over. So you might be thinking, you know what, F this and F that. And, I'm going to see my mama, my grandmama, my granddaddy, whoever. And when you cross over, you don't get to see them. Not until your spirit heals, and then you can elevate. And then when you get elevated high enough, you can be on the same level as them and you get to spend time with them. But the good thing with that is every time you heal and you level up, so to speak, you can still interact with any energies that's below you.
Okay.
But there is one level you can't interact with no more. When you get to the highest level, what some would say like the God level or the heaven level, the only way you can interact is through smells. Or through a dream if you can get in there good enough. But other than that, you can't deal with nothing.
So that makes me ask a question is, do spirits sleep like we do and dream,
No.
or are they just always awake?
They're always awake.
Oh, that would suck. Sorry, I like my sleep.
Okay, so
I love my sleep.
here's the thing. When you get stronger in the spirit world, you can actually, and this one times I'll say Hollywood's got it correct to a degree. Like in the movie Insidious, spirits have a different room that they stay in or whatever. You can't create scenarios like that if you're strong enough spiritually. Okay. But that can take many years, if not decades. But you can't do that. Otherwise, you're in emptiness. Unless you elevate high enough and then you get to the higher one. But I can make a Torres kind of mad if I went into too deep of what I've seen.
So here's a question for you.
Watching, but
Yeah. Here's a question then. Can spirits call on their spirit guides? Can they still call on God? Can they ask for help so that they can? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, when we're in life, we're used to calling on help, whether it be through religious aspects or spirit, what have you, whatever you believe in. Most people, somehow, some way, in some point in their life, have asked for help from a higher power. So do spirits do they just forget? Do they get stuck, like you were saying, stuck in that moment where they're not able to, where their consciousness isn't able to think that far ahead? Like, oh, wait a minute, like, I still have thoughts, I can ask for help. Like, can they help themselves?
If they get stuck in the scenario through something traumatic, unfortunately, they cannot call on a higher power. They have to relive it until they heal, or until someone like myself can come over and help with them. And there have been times when I've had to do something similar where, just talking to them and trying to understand them a little bit better, out in the distance, so to speak, I can see someone that they're related to that could help them. And once I get them to that energy level, then spirit takes over in helping them.
I see.
But unfortunately, as far as it goes to guides, once you pass away, they're gone. They've served their purpose. They've done their duty. So they do disappear.
And when you talk to spirits, or when they talk to you, how do you hear them? Is it almost like you're hearing is it internal, like a thought, or are you actually audibly hearing them?
Both. Certain locations, you can hear them physically speaking. Everyone in the room can, but usually it's in small bursts. They don't have enough energy to keep doing it. But a majority of the time it is in my head, like I'm talking to myself. But unfortunately, when they have the energy to do that, they like to yell. And it does give me a headache rather quickly.
Invest in a lot of Tylenol.
Buy some stock.
Now, I'm not sure if you do or not, but for people who have psychic abilities, do you think if they, drink, I know it's always recommended that not to drink, not to do drugs or anything like that before you go on a paranormal investigation because it can cause harm. Do you think that any psychics who do that, does it increase their abilities or hinder them?
Drinking hinders it.
Okay.
Depending upon the drug, it can enhance it.
Okay. And this is not an endorsement for taking drugs.
No.
Out there so we don't get in trouble.
It's not an endorsement for drugs, but if it's something natural, like ashwagandha, stuff like that, now that can open you up. Something that's natural on that level. But you have to be careful because some of those drugs also contain DMT, the God molecule, so you can do a reset and forget why you're even there. But certain natural drugs, holistic, can actually open you up more.
Okay, kind of similar to how like the Native Americans used to do their stuff. Okay. And again, for anybody watching, this is not an endorsement for taking drugs. This is just a question. I can just see someone. Well, on Ghost, they said if I did.
I know.
Don't do it because some of the best plants that allow you to open up a lot more You have to have someone that's skilled and has dealt with that particular type of strain for years, and they know how to deal with you in case you start running body temperatures of up to 106 and 107. So,
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anton has another question. He wants to know if you're referring to levels as the frequency planes of existence.
yes.
Okay. Man of many words.
If you want, I can pick the Bible apart for you. Psychics are in the Bible. She's known as the Witch of Endor.
Lesson for today is no. So I don't know if it's something you can answer because I know you have more insight into death than most people do. But what do you think is fundamentally misunderstood about the concept of death?
That is painful. It's actually not painful. It's the process that's the pain part. It's actually a very smooth transition, typically.
Okay.
But there are some cases where spirit can get partially stuck in a body, and that's a little bit more work. And at that point, it does become a little bit more painful for the spirit to get out of the body, because then they start feeling the death. And then when you're trying to counsel them, then you actually, if you're a feeler like me, you'll start feeling that same part. But most time, shit, dying ain't painful.
That would be so claustrophobic to be a spirit and feel stuck in a body. Oh, I'm sorry. That's already given me.
I'd be like, no, I'm done. See ya.
Well, back in the days, ritually, if someone was mean, when a person was dying, they got them buried, especially here in the Old South. They would bury them the minute they died, and then they would take train nails for the track nails and do a little ritual, and they would actually bind the spirit into the body. So it couldn't.
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord.
Southerners are assholes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, there's graveyards all over the South Carolina. You can go into it with a detector, and you'll find them in there, but you better not remove them.
That's one angry spirit that's going to come running out of there.
And it's coming for you.
That's called wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
F around and find out.
That's Sheriff Judd's comment. No. Okay. Any questions, or you want me to continue down my list, Tiffany?
I don't have any more.
Okay, so I do want to touch on the historical stuff that you're doing in just a minute, but I do have one more question for someone who is either new, unaware, or just never was taught the proper ways of being a psychic. But what dangers do you think psychics can face, whether it's opening themselves up or just doing the work that they do?
The biggest danger we have is getting stuck. There are times when you start dealing with a spirit on this side, and for whatever reason, if you're meditating or you go to sleep, you do like an out-of-body experience and you go over into the realm of spirit, and then you try to get out and you can't get back out. So I've spoken over the years with a few people that they've come close with that's new to the ability. You have to be careful. Don't even do it. If you can do something, like with me, if I don't want to deal with stuff at night, I play music while I'm sleeping because that keeps my brain active. Yeah.
I watch TV all night long and it plays in the background all night. Because I can't sleep. And once I fall asleep, and it's like, even if the TV turns off and it's silent, I start having nightmares, like immediately. Yeah. I remember one night I had a dream that I was floating over my bed looking down. And it didn't feel like a dream.
Yeah. Wow. Now, did you see the gold string?
No, but it freaked the crap out of me.
I'm sure. Yeah, it would freak me out too.
Yeah. The only other time that I had that exact same feeling and same type of vision was when I was having my tracheotomy surgery when I was 6. Because I can explain the whole surgery and what they did to me and what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't like that feeling. So I'm happy in my, I guess my blonde wig, not knowing what's going. That's going to be our new term. Future shows from now on, we're just going to be like blonde hair and empty headed. That's. Oh my God, I'm making a meme with that. I'm sorry, Ken.
Or if you get a guest that you in your mind think is kind of special, you can make
we
a
have a
meme
couple of
that
those
says,
coming up.
just make a meme that says the mayonnaise ran down the wrong leg.
Oh no, I'm not going to do that. No. Yeah, we have all kinds of guests and we love them all, but yeah. We've run into some interesting people on and off the show, but that's what makes the world go round.
That is true.
Wait till you die. It gets worse.
Thanks. Are you alive now or no?
Yeah.
Sometimes you make me wonder. So I know you do a lot of historical work. So what is your passion behind doing that? Is it to preserve the area for the spirits that are there? Is it just a interest and passion that you have, or another reason why you tend to do that?
More or less, is to help the spirits that's here, especially in the town I'm in. There's been a lot of violence and a lot of murders. And some of them have been so bad that the federal government came in the 1800s and shut the whole town down with the military. And there's a lot of spirits that were roaming Main Street and messing with people. And unfortunately, the worst part of the area that was happening was around the courthouse. And it is the oldest continuously courthouse in the States. Is that old. And so through doing tours and doing other things, I'm picking up on stuff. I'm able to research and try to find out the truth. And when I can find a true connection, then I add it to the tours, and given names and given the confirmation of the events that's happening is helping those spirits, and they are moving on. So it's just an extension of the abilities.
Okay. Yep. And have you had any experiences or instances where you were able to correct what was once believed to be historical fact and change the perspective of what the town looks at?
All the time. The biggest part was a lot of people think this town is, idyllic, old school Southern, and that nothing bad's ever happened here. And like I was saying a moment ago about the incident, 1871, there was a group that was started in Mississippi back in the 1860s called the Red Shirts, and they made their way here. And it is very well known. They were old school Democratic Party, which is now the Republican Party. They murdered almost 1,100 people on our main street in a year. And they killed several military personnel as well. And me doing the research on them and trying to get some of the names, we used to have on our opera house, which was built in 1893, or that would actually go around the second level. But it's never had a wraparound porch or anything on it. And doing the research, I found out there was a old hotel that used to have a wraparound porch on the second level at the same height. And it was during when the military was here that someone was actually shot and killed on the porch. And that's what you're actually seeing is the orb from his light going around on the second building. But since I've started incorporating that story into the tours, you see it less often now.
So is it because it doesn't want to be seen anymore, or is it fading away?
It's fading. As the truth gets told and people are becoming aware of what actually happened with the true history of the town, a lot of things are starting to kind of fade away. They're getting their closure.
Okay. And I'm assuming you assume that's a good thing, right? That the spirits are getting their closure? Okay.
Very good thing.
Good. And Anton has another quick question. Does spiritual contact conduct itself through a doorway between two planes or dimensions, including physical and mental communication?
Yes. It can come to you mentally and physically all at one time. It's whatever the amount of energy the spirit has and how they want to communicate.
And I guess let me look back on my list because we're going through these questions a lot quicker than I thought we would have. Okay. Have you ever had, I know you have said you have spirits in your house, but have you ever had anything follow you home or that has affected your daily life to where you just can't function on a particular day?
Once. And that's from an old cemetery here called Old Neck. It's 4 parts to it, and each part is way older by at least 50 to 60 years than the previous one. And there's a dirt road that leads down to a river. And that was the first time I ever came in contact with a jinn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And for about a month after coming in contact, I dealt with it on the spiritual side of things. And every time I would close my eyes, even at work, I would see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that actually brings up another question that I didn't even think of until now. But have you ever experienced anything outside of spirits, such as cryptids, UFOs?
Jinn, and I have once come in contact with what was, this took me a good while to find in research, was a Babylonian goddess. She was the queen mother, so to speak. She was known as the Mud Lady because she appears as a woman covered in mud.
Oh.
Wow.
And that's the only 2.
Yeah. Your town sounds interesting. We need to get out there.
We do, yeah.
I'll take you to Old Neck. I got a lot of family out there.
I've been to Charleston once. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Oh,
it.
well, when you come back up this way, it gets darker.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
We
We
have
did the
one,
touristy stuff.
well, we have one plantation here, and you cannot go on it. It was one of my ancestors, and my family's been here over 300 years, so I'm related to everything about it. But unfortunately, it was a location where they did murder slaves for people from Charleston and other plantations,
Mm.
and they threw their bodies in the mill pond.
Oh.
And you can go out there at night if you're lucky enough to, if they've got the gates opened.
Mhm.
You can stand next to where the old water house used to be, because they had the mill pond, the water house, and then what was the old, where they used to grow rice. And then once they got done with rice, they grew indigo. And you can hear the water running going down into that lower field, and there's nothing going on. And then you can walk down the dirt road and have someone behind you filming you or taking pictures, and you'll have different color orbs following you all the way down the dirt road.
Wow.
And then when you get close to the old house, there's a black oak where it's one of the sadder points in my ancestry I don't talk about too often. One of my ancestors fell in love with a slave and got pregnant. And when she gave birth, the father locked her away in her bedroom. She was boiled, and he buried the baby alive and put an oak sapling over it. So people do hear a baby crying out from near that oak.
Wow. But I think it's important that we do talk about history. I think, and I know it's a very touchy subject for so many, not just the history of the South, but history in general. But you have to talk about it, because I think the worst thing you can do is just shove it under the rug and pretend like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. It has to be spoken about, and you have to also give these spirits who are still earthbound, you have to give them a voice somehow. You have to tell their story. You have to tell the truth. And so I think what you're doing, and the reason why you're doing it, is fantastic. And please, for as long as you can, don't stop.
Yeah.
Oh, I plan on it.
He needs to write a book.
Oh, God. How about I just give you the information and I'll let you write it?
Okay, we can do that for you.
So do you want it pamphlet size? Do you want dictionary size?
Dictionary size. Multi-series.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and Tiffany, you're right in that aspect, because like when I was publishing my Florida Civil War book,
Right.
I was so hesitant on writing a lot of the stuff that I put in there because you don't see it often because it usually gets censored out. But my publisher actually came back to me and was like, on the certain chapters that I still included the information, but they wanted me to expand on it.
Yeah,
like, I mean, and they were all for, expanding on the things that most people don't talk about. And I was like, okay, I got free reign to do this.
Yeah. And, and that's also on, for you, that's very brave, because you risk backlash from people who don't want to talk about it, who don't want the history told. And also for your publisher too, it's really sad how people just want to shut up the truth. It doesn't make sense. And it's like, well, like what harm would the truth bring to you now? Like what harm would that do to you? Unless it's just to prove that you're a terrible person.
And the hardest thing too was because there's a lot of Confederate memorials. There's even a Confederate cemetery that is part of the book, and they wanted to put the Confederate battle flag on the cover, and they're probably going to do it because they wanted me to go to a particular memorial and get a photo of it. And any other publisher that I've talked to about it, it was like, no. They wanted to leave that stuff out and basically only focus on the northern experiences in Florida.
That's still part of our history.
Yep.
And it needs to be talked about.
Yep. So one question I do have, because in my research, of course, there's a lot of legends out there that say, so-and-so existed, and now there's all these stories and people are seeing their spirits. And I've actually even disproved one of them in Florida. Have you ever been given information from a spirit, but were unable to prove it with documentation or even proof that that person's name ever existed?
The person I could prove the scenario, no. We have a legend called the Warlock of the PD, and it's based around what's known as the Evans family. They're one of the original 10 families of the town. And supposedly his son and daughter-in-law wanted a new start, so they went up to PD, went up and crossed over into North Carolina. And after they get there, they settle down, they get a cow, they get a pig, a little farm going, and the husband has to travel for work. And on the first weekend that he's gone, this other family moves into the area, and the husband on day one goes over to the Evans household and looks at the wife and says, "You're going to give me your pig?" And she said, "I'm sorry, I'm not. This is all we have." And when he walked off the property, the pig dropped dead. So she didn't like it. So when the husband came home, she told him. He didn't believe her. So he leaves and goes again, but this time instead of going to work, he went uptown. So he comes back in about 2 hours, and during that 2-hour frame, the same guy comes back. He says, I'm going to take your cow. And she said, "No, you're not." And before he could turn, the cow dropped dead. So when the husband gets home, he's got a dead cow laying in his yard, and he won't know what happened. So she told him. So at this point, it's 2 animals is all they had. And, back then that was expensive for them.
Yep.
And so, he's thinking about it. And this is one of the things where if you hear the legend, depending on the source, they don't tell you. She goes and speaks to someone that practices a form of hoodoo. And they tell the wife to paint an effigy of this gentleman on the side of the barn and to shoot it with a silver bullet. So, of course, you know how their frame of mind was back in those days. They take the only silver fork and silver knife that they owned their name, which was gifted to them by his father. They melt it down and make a silver bullet. So they shoot it. And shortly after doing it, they could hear the neighbor about half a mile screaming to the top of her lungs. So, of course, Miss Evans goes to be the good, godly Christian woman. And when she gets there, finds that the husband's in a lot of pain in the same area where she shot the effigy on the side of the barn. So she runs back and tells her husband everything. So they get to talking about a few things, and she remembers, the effigy, there's a storm starting to roll in. So they say, we need to go get the effigy off the barn. Well, while they're walking out to the barn, lightning strikes and burns down the barn. So once again, Miss Evans and Mr. Evans now hear the wife crying and being hysterical. So they go over to the house. and her husband's dead.
Wow.
So the people, the names align with the time period and with the moving, but the rest of the story cannot be validated.
Right.
Okay. That would be a story I'd want to get validated. That
Yeah.
that sounds like a horror movie waiting to be told.
It really does.
And what's kind of unique is the town that they lived in. When they tore down the original jail, there was a stone where they used to kill people. They behead them and everything on it, or they tied to them and then beat them and other things. They moved it from the old jail, and it sits right in front of the courthouse now. So I want to go to that town. It's only like an hour and a half away from me.
Your town sounds more like the Wild West out here, not the good old Southern Bible Belt.
Oh, it's a good old Southern Bible Belt. They just like to hide all their stuff.
Yeah.
I like to dig it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the meme I'm going to make of you is going to be a blonde wig with a shovel.
Do it.
We need to talk more often. We let too much time go between talking with you. Okay, so I know we still have some time, but I have a couple questions that I kind of created as like a rapid fire that I was going to do towards the end, but I have a feeling these are going to lead to more questions as we go.
Okay.
So no thinking unless you want to think. Last time I tried rapid fire questions, it didn't quite go quick because the person was like, even he said, he's like, these aren't rapid fire. But anyway, here I go because so spirits, are they energy or consciousness?
Energy.
Demons, real or misunderstood?
Misunderstood.
Ouija boards, tool or danger?
Tool.
Most haunted place you've ever experienced?
The Smith Collins Funeral Home.
And one thing people get wrong about psychics?
That we want to do readings for everyone in the world. No, we don't.
Okay, see, you made that simple. I did that one week and he's like, these aren't rapid fire. And we ran out of time.
I like the rapid fire.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. I think we might implement that or put that in the show moving forward because that's kind of like a fun way and a fun thing to just get some quick questions out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and real quick, Caroline joined us and she is headed to Seguin, Texas. That should be fun. The Magnolia Hotel is one of the ones on my list.
Fun.
Yeah. Any questions, Tiffany? I've kind of
went through what I had. I went through what I had.
Anything that you want to add, Kenneth, before we kind of let you go?
Ooh, we got a question.
Oh, yes, we do.
Nope. Welcome to the show, Ginger.
So the difference between energy and consciousness. Energy is what we release when we pass away. That actually can hold within itself the consciousness. Because all part of the energy flow that we created and put back into the atmosphere. Because otherwise, as a psychic, when they show us little movies in our heads, that is the consciousness part. They're letting us see things, but it cannot exist outside of the energy because it has to constantly have energy to provide the answers and to interact with us.
I'm just putting a little post out there, letting everyone know to ask any questions real quick before we start ending the show. This is kind of a Q&A. Thank you guys for asking your questions, but if you have any more, get those in so we can make sure we cover them before we go. And definitely need to have you on again, and we need to get your tour company up and going so we can expand it.
Yeah.
Shoot, it's already expanding.
No, we got to get to Texas.
Oh. Well, you let me know where you are, and I'll look into it because for me to do it up in Raleigh, which is more haunted than I thought it was, is costing almost $500. And there's certain places in Texas I know for a fact will cost me over $1,000.
Yeah. Yep.
So just got to see where we got to go.
Where I'm at in Texas, and I'll message you the name because I don't want to say it on air, but there's someone here who has kind of cornered the market in the town.
Is it who I think it is?
I think so, because I can't even get into the city to do a lecture at the library.
Oh.
I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. If it's who I think it is, they just got closed down out of Myrtle Beach. The city of Raleigh is closing them down, and so are several other towns because they lie on their tours.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, darn. I was hoping for another location.
I'll send you a message.
Okay.
It's someone that we know from a past organization that we were a part of.
Oh, good grief.
We have another question here.
Ooh, yes, we do.
Has anyone done any experiments using things such as an EMF bump to see if it increases accuracy of psychic experiences?
Yes. That has been done a few times by scientists studying the phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
They have even gone as far as putting psychics in a room next to another one that they actually put in I don't know the technical name of the machine, but it increases the amount of energy to the point that it would radiate through the walls just to see if they could expand and be more accurate.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. And I sent you that message on Facebook, so you have the name.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, just because I've seen a lot of people post almost making fun of it, about psychics wearing blindfolds at locations. I know my opinion of it, and I think you're on the same page I am.
If you claim to be psychic and you got put on one of those, you're a charlatan.
Mm-hmm.
Because your ability is here, not with the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I kind of thought.
I mean, I've seen people. I mean, I'm fine with watching people that they're not in tune too well with their abilities doing it. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with people that don't care about even abilities and they do it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That makes you focus with the mind's eye. But I like watching them act a fool, especially when they think they see something or hear something.
Yeah. The only time I ever close my eyes is if I'm listening to audio, because I want to take any visual distraction away.
I get scared to close my eyes. I do sometimes in certain scenarios where I have to, because I'm trying to tune in, because I can see in my mind's eye that there's someone standing there, and I will close my eyes to try and see if maybe by doing so, it'll give them a sense that I'm not looking and bring them forward. And it's worked a few times, but most of the time, I'll keep my eyes open because I don't know what's going to come swinging from this direction or that direction.
Yeah. And if you're walking around with your eyes closed or a blindfold, even though my paranormal team is my family, I don't trust them enough to not let me trip over something. They would be like, "Oh, my bad." As I'm
like, just not paying attention. Like, right. Oh, she was right there.
And Anton, I'll definitely be in touch with you, because I do have some plans, hopefully local. Nothing major yet, but I am working on a few other things with. But yeah, we'll definitely get Kenneth out here, or at least his company out here, so we can do some type of tours. I know there's definitely a lot up in Waco, and that's where I work. It's about a 30 to 40 minute drive from here. Are you reading the name?
Oh yes, I can outdo him. Come on.
Okay. Let's do this.
I think I'm still friends with him on Facebook, but we never talk.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
I could outdo that.
Okay. We got this. Okay. So last call for any questions. If anyone has anything you want to make sure we cover before we let you go. No.
I got scared.
You got scared. Your cat, something has your cat's attention. I've been watching, and he was just looking all over the room and then took off. And you're not alone, are you?
No.
No, I don't think he's ever alone in that house.
She plays with unfortunately last year when I moved into this house, Mama cat gave birth up under the front porch, and two of the babies died. So
Aw.
when I open the porch, she'll walk out there to the area where they passed, and then she'll walk back in the house, and she'll start doing that. So
Mhm.
I assume it's them.
Mm. Aw. I know. My parents were lucky enough. They their cat that passed away in Florida followed them when they moved to Texas. So
Well, if you ever get a black cat and it passes away, you can always do what the hoodoos do, and they boil it, and then the first bone that floats to the top, that's the magic bone in the cat.
okay. Yeah, it was a black cat, but they didn't boil it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a tour that I'm working on right now, and I know it's going to be questionable. It's about the Gullah Geechee, because here you have what's called the Gullah Geechee corridor that goes from Florida all the way up. Well, the map doesn't fully represent where it goes, and the town I'm in is actually the very end of it.
Okay.
So the whole tour is based around that, and I do teach a lot of hoodoo in it. And when people get me mad while I'm trying to do stuff. Oh, yeah, and I do speak some Geechee, so hopefully people don't get mad when I start speaking it.
You just gotta have the right people in your tour with you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think the right people I would want to be on the tours anyway.
True,
We'll see.
true. But and the thing too is you get a lot of people, even though you describe everything in full as to what to expect on the tour and what they're going to encounter and what what they could encounter, you're still going to have those that be like, "Oh, I had no idea."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My favorite was always, "I'm a ghost. I had no idea I'd encounter one." I'm on a ghost tour.
Yeah. I've been lucky so far on the ghost tours I've done. I would say maybe 9 instances that we actually ran across something. And 5 of those 9 were in the same location.
Oh, wow.
So I have to take you there when you come.
Yep. Yeah, that, and I know I keep bringing this up, but I need to get back to Gettysburg one of these days too.
Yeah.
Something's calling me back. It's been my draw. So, but what sucks is growing up, my vacations were going to Florida, visiting family, and then driving up the East Coast, hitting all the historic sites. And it's one of those, I wish we had time to do that now as adults because I miss doing all of that.
I thought about expanding my business and taking it into Gettysburg until I found one big old oopsie. In order to do any form of tour in that area, you actually have to be trained by the government, and it takes 8 years to do the training.
Oh, wow.
So any tour companies out there, mad respect.
Yep. Yeah, they do require a lot. Yep. Okay. Ginger has a quick question, and then I have a quick question for Ginger. Kenneth, I live in Southern Nevada. Have you ever had any experiences there?
In Nevada? I've never been there.
Okay. And what part of Southern Nevada, Ginger? I lived in Henderson, just outside of Vegas for many years, and have had a lot of experiences out in Nevada. So I'll give her a moment to answer that. Yeah, we need to get you west.
Yeah.
Only if there's no civil war between the spirits here and the spirits there, we're good.
Okay, that just depends. Oh, okay. Yeah, we lived in Henderson. We're the last exit on the highway before Boulder City, leaving Las Vegas. There is a lot in Boulder City. Yeah, I actually, one of my books touches on Boulder City quite a bit. So yeah, send me a message, go on Facebook and find me. You can Ghost Education 101, message us there, and I can reach out and share some of those experiences with you. I used to teach lectures. It was virtual lectures during COVID with the Las Vegas libraries and Henderson libraries on the different ghost towns and paranormal activity out in that area. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ginger. Okay. Calico. Okay. Yep, I know that area. Okay. So anything else from Tiffany? Do you have anything else before we head on?
I don't know. He answered
like
everything I had.
Kenneth is clicking away. Looks like we've lost him. No.
No.
But anyway, thank you. This has been a great conversation. Always love chatting with you. You definitely give us, me, more insight into a lot of things that most psychics don't either know or don't share.
I tried to
Mm-hmm.
go deeper next time.
Go deeper next time? Okay, we'll definitely get you rescheduled. Yeah, because I it's one of those, I always hate having repeat guests, but there's some repeat guests that you just got to have back. Yeah. Okay. So I guess one thing before we leave, I know you said you didn't have much going on right now, but any events or upcoming activities that you have that you want to make an announcement for?
No.
No? Okay.
It's
You're
my
simple.
dead time.
Your bedtime, I can tell you.
I says my dead time right now.
Oh, your dead time. I thought, it's my bedtime. You did say you're an old man earlier, even though you're younger than I am.
I don't go to bed till midnight.
I wish I had that energy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't, but I've been programmed like that since my college days, and it's never changed. So,
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you again for joining us, everybody. Thank you to our amazing guests. As always, have fun talking to you. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook at Ghost Education 101. You can catch the replay. You can also subscribe or follow us to make sure that you catch all of our upcoming shows and activities that are happening. Also watch the replay on Ghost Education 101 on YouTube. And then next week, join us as we have a special guest panel from the April Ghouls Paranormal Weekend in Key West coming up next year. I am looking forward to this one because I'm not sure exactly which one of their panelists or the event guests that are going to be on the show. David hasn't told me, David hasn't told me yet, but we will make sure to have a lot of fun with that one because we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Other than that, you guys all have a great night, and we will see you next week. And thank you again, Kenneth.
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks, Ken.